It's really hard to make YouTube videos when you're a mom. Hello everyone, my name is LaShawn and welcome back to my channel, The Yokohama Life. It's been a while since I made a video. It's been like 4 months now, and I know that because here's my baby and she's gonna be 4 months old starting tomorrow. I'm really excited. And yeah, she's gonna be in the whole video because I gotta watch her. Hopefully she won't make too much noise. The first 3 months of having a baby are just so busy and not chaotic, but just a lot of hard work. But it's really fun and really rewarding at the same time. So anyway, I kind of made some notes of some things I wanted to go over about what it's like to have a baby that's 0 to 3 months old in Japan. And most of the stuff I'm going over is going to be like month 0, because month 0 is by far the hardest month, being a new parent in any country. So anyway, this is my daughter. She was born on September 26th in 2019. And the first thing I wanted to cover is like just how scary it was leaving the hospital with her. Like, she's perfectly fine, perfectly healthy. Just, I was terrified as a new parent, being home alone with this really tiny baby. She was so small at the time. And I just kind of panicked. Like, I had a lot of anxiety and just the thought of like, what do I do if something goes wrong? What if she becomes sick or she gets injured? Like, how do I get her to the hospital, or how do I call an ambulance? Like, all those kind of like worries were just like really eating away at me, and like just sent my anxiety levels like through the roof. So luckily I had a lot of people who offered to come and help me out, because at the time my husband was still working. He wasn't on paternity leave yet. So my sister came from Iwakuni and she spent a whole week with me, which was very nice. Like, I don't think I would have survived that week without her. I know I wouldn't have survived. I wasn't getting any sleep and I was just in a constant state of panic. I was having panic attacks. But she came, she helped me out. She showed me like how to breastfeed, which I was taught in the hospital, but it was only one lesson, which wasn't enough. So she gave me a lot of extra help with that. Also, she taught me how to use the breast pump and just how to care for the baby, how to wrap her. Because when the babies are really small, they like to feel really close and compact, like they're still, you know, in the womb. But I didn't know about wrapping. So she showed me how to wrap her with a cloth, like just one big cloth. But also, we got some swaddle me's. Yeah, we ordered a couple swaddle me's. They came in a set from Amazon, and those were really great too, like the little Velcro swaddles. And that did help a lot with the sleeping situation. It did help her sleep a lot easily, because with young babies, especially month 0, they still have that reflex where like they startle and they jump and they just like throw their arms out and then they start screaming, and it wakes them up all the time. But when they're swaddled and their arms are, you know, pressed against their body like this, they can't throw their arms anywhere, so they're more likely to stay asleep. So that was really helpful. By the way, these are 9-month pajamas, so that's why they look so big. And look how big the feet are. The feet are way too big. Like, even the 6 to 9 month size pajamas don't fit quite that great. But yeah, she's such a sweet baby. She really is. Like, being a parent isn't what I thought it would be. Like, yes, it's been hard, but not in the ways I thought it would be hard. Like, you always see babies like screaming and crying all day, you know, on TV and in movies. And I know that is the reality for a lot of parents, but this is as moody as she gets. Like, she doesn't cry unless something's like terribly wrong, like she's, you know, she's hungry or she has a dirty diaper or needs to be fed. But she's a really calm and peaceful, very loving baby. So I feel very lucky. All right, so I keep getting off topic. So anyway, yeah, leaving the hospital was scary. Oh, and let's talk about the car ride. So, you know, you get discharged from the hospital, then you have this problem of how do I get the baby home from the hospital, you know, how do I get the baby from the hospital to my house? Like usually you would just, you know, take a train or a bus if you live in Tokyo or Yokohama or another city. Most people don't have cars, they just use the public transportation. But when you have a baby that's small, they don't fit into carriers that well. And we didn't have a stroller that was suitable for a newborn. So, and this is the terrifying thing, like my husband had to hold her while we rode in the car driven by his elderly father who is in his 80s. And the whole time I was freaking out. Like his father, his driving is perfectly okay. And he drove like very slow, very carefully because he knew I was worried. But that was just like not something I wanted to go through when my anxiety was already like off the charts. Yeah. But we got her home. It was like a 20-minute drive, felt like an hour. And we got her like in her little bassinet. And I remember just looking at her thinking, okay, you're here. This is it. Like our lives are actually starting now. And it was just, it was scary not knowing what to expect. Like you have this whole new future you're beginning together, but you have no idea like how it's going to go or what it's going to be like. Sorry, this video is going to be all over the place. So my sister was here for the first week. She helped me out with everything. And for those first couple weeks, breastfeeding was so painful. It really, really freaking hurt. And like, I know they say it shouldn't be painful if the baby's latching on properly, but if it's your first time breastfeeding, even if the baby is latching on the right way, it's going to hurt. Like it really is. Like your nipples are going to start cracking, maybe even bleeding. This is gross. Like if you're squeamish, just don't watch this video. But like I had like little chunks of skin just like coming off my nipples. Like I was like peeling them off in the shower. Like it was so horrible. Like, but I was determined to do it. Like if you're going to breastfeed, it's something you have to commit to. Like you really have to commit. Like, yeah, we did formula feed her as well, like when I needed a break or if my body just wasn't producing enough yet, which was a problem like in the beginning, but I did try to feed her all throughout the day and God, it hurt so bad. I was almost in tears. Every time she latched on, I was like, ah. Even when she was doing it right, because that's how bad it was. And yeah, so my sister was there for a week. And then after she had to return to Iwakuni, it was just me and the baby alone in the house because my husband had to go to work. His paternity leave didn't start until, when was it? October? Yeah, the beginning of October? No. His paternity leave didn't start until the beginning of November. So he had November, December, and now January. It was 3 months. So for all of October, I was essentially alone. And although he helped me at night, you know, when he was home from work, I couldn't get any sleep. I was getting like 1 hour of sleep per night, and that just was not enough. She loves eating her hands recently. God, this video is going to be so hard to salvage. Like, it's going to be all over the place. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I was getting 1 hour of sleep a night, and it was just so hard on me physically. I was crying the whole time. Like, he was at work. I was just having all these breakdowns, you know, trying to take care of her, trying to get her to sleep. And I didn't understand why she wasn't sleeping. Like, I had her swaddled, and I had her in a crib, and she would just wake up after 15 minutes. She would sleep. She would nap maybe 15 to 30 minutes, and then she'd wake up. And everyone was like, oh, just take a nap when the baby naps. I'm like, she's not napping. How do I nap if she's not napping? And so that was hard. That was really hard. But once he was able to go on paternity leave, gosh, it just got so much easier. Like, if that's an option for you and your family, it's definitely something I would recommend. Because once he was able to come home and stay home, we could take turns watching her while the other caught up on some rest. So we literally just like work in 3 to 4 hour shifts. Like, okay, here's your turn with the baby. Watch her for as long as you can. I'm gonna go sleep. And then, you know, if we're feeling really, really energetic, we last like a whole 5 hours alone with the baby before switching off. And we did that the entire like first month, like from month 0 halfway through the first month. We pretty much held her the whole time. She did not like to be put down like she is now. Like, this wouldn't fly. She would be crying. We had to hold her. And that got really hard on like our backs and our shoulders and our wrists. It was so painful. I couldn't move my wrists anymore, so I had to go to the doctor. And I got steroid injections in both of my wrists. That was not pleasant. And he said that's good for like 3 months, 3 to 4 months. And then I have to go back and get more steroids. Please don't comment that I'm neglecting my baby, like, because she's making that noise. Like, it's the only way I can record, and she's perfectly okay. I'm gonna pause and spend some time with her in between the takes. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so I got the steroid shots in my wrist. My husband started experiencing the same kind of pain. He didn't opt for the shots, but he got like this medicine tape that you put on it that contains painkillers, like that basically injects it right into your skin. So he used those. Yeah, so you will like discover a lot of new aches and pains. Just be prepared for that. One thing I suggest is getting some kind of wrap. All right, she might be getting a little bit sleepy. Let's just see. She's so noisy. All right, but yeah, just be prepared for a lot of physical pain, like not associated with giving birth, but with, you know, holding and carrying a new baby 24/7. Some things you should also be mentally prepared for, like during the recovery from the delivery, is swollen feet. Like, whether you had them during your pregnancy or not, there's a good chance you'll have them after you have your baby. And that's going to make it really tough, you know, walking around and carrying your baby. Also, this is gross, but constipation. Like, and this is something the doctor warned me about. He said that it happens. You won't be able to poop. It's just not, yeah, it's not going to come out. And when it does, it's going to be like a brick. So you have to drink a ton of water. You need the water anyway if you're breastfeeding. You have to stay well hydrated, but you're going to need it, especially if things kind of get backed up and aren't coming out. Yeah. Hiccups. Hiccups are another big thing that you're going to experience a lot of with the baby. Expect hiccups like several times a day, or just all day long. Your baby will have hiccups and a small break, and then more hiccups and a small break. Like, she had hiccups while I was pregnant. I could feel her, like, you know, jumping in my stomach from them. So that's perfectly normal. She doesn't get them as much anymore now that she's older. She maybe gets the hiccups once a day or every other day now. But when she was a newborn, it felt like she always had them. It's really cute with the newborn babies. Like, they tend to be a little cross-eyed because their eye coordination is kind of off. But that goes away. You'll see a big improvement like after the first month, and by month 2, it's pretty much gone. You'll rarely notice it. And I don't see it anymore with her now that she's 3 months. But it's something I noticed a lot in her newborn videos. If it does stay, that's definitely a concern you'll want to bring up with your doctor. When you go to one of the health checks, there is a 1-month health check here in Japan, where they check to see like how the eyes are performing, and they check the hearing and the baby's reflexes and whatnot. And there's another check, and depending on where you live in Japan, it's either going to be at 3 or 4 months. She's sleeping. And yeah, with that health check again, They'll check the baby's physical condition, like how well your baby can support her neck and whatnot. This is how we take our naps now. Usually it's in this baby futon here, but I just wrap her up, I stick the pacifier in her mouth, and I zip her up in her futon, and she passes right out. Like, I think she's kind of mad at me right now for talking. It's okay, baby. I'm gonna put her in her futon. This will be a good chance to show you how I do that. First up, this is her little, what do you call it, a baby sleep bag. So I'm gonna put her in here, and it just fastens closed. This is a good way to keep the baby warm. It's okay, sweetheart. It's not too cold right now, but the sun's gonna go down quickly, because as you know, the sun usually sets at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock here. So I originally intended for this video to be for months 0 through 3, but as you can see, she's really tired and she needs me to be quiet so she can go to bed. So I'm only going to cover month 0 in this video, so I'll do separate videos for the other months as well. But anyway, if you have any questions for me, please leave a comment below and I'll be sure to answer them either in a comment or in my next video. Also, if you check out my website, theyokohamalife.com, I have a lot of information there about what it was like having a baby in Japan, you know, what it's like being pregnant and whatnot. So check out my blog, and I'll see you next time. Bye.